Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal. A reader recently asked me, can I retire with 1 crore at the age of 40? In fact, his question was, I'm 39 years old. I'm planning to take early retirement in the next 15 months. I have a savings corpus of about 1 crore. The monthly expense requirement is 50,000. And can this be done? And where can I invest this big amount with safety? So, the first thing is that regular viewers, readers of freefincal would know that the obvious answer is no, but we should understand why that is so for especially the new viewers and the beginners. So first of all, when we do retirement planning and when we say that the monthly expense requirement is this, let's say 50,000 rupees, we must understand that it is the monthly expense in the first year of retirement, and in subsequent years the expenses should be expected to increase at least by 5 to 6%, at least, preferably a little higher if when we plan, but the inflation rate assumed should be at least 5 to 6%. Now it is very important to understand that this expense should also, the annual expenses should also include a very big chunk for health insurance payment. Because, so let's say suppose you are 30 and you want to retire by 50 and you are paying some amount of health insurance premium today, you must project what it would be in future at the age of 50, and then include that as the annual expense. So you have to do a little bit of thinking, because a health insurance premium you can expect it to increase at least by 10% every year on year. So that is one of the key requirements. The second point is that, or rather the third point is that the you can't expect investment with safety. If you want to invest, then it cannot be safe. If you want complete safety, then you can never increase this expense year on year. You can happily take this 1 crore and put it into an insurance annuity at about 6% roughly before tax, and you will get close to what you want, maybe a little bit less than what you want, about 48,000, 46,000 rupees per month after tax, a little bit or something like that, approximately. So it's doable safely, but it is, safety is not safety doesn't mean that you're going to fight inflation. You don't. I mean, wanting the principal amount to be safe is not a prudent is not prudent thinking in personal finance. You have to think about beating inflation. For that, you need to have enough corpus. You can take risks only when you have enough corpus, and if you don't have that corpus, it's going to be a problem. So let's punch these numbers in to the freefincal robo advisory template and see what that gives us. So the time to retirement in this case is 1 year. The age of retirement is 40. So the years in retirement is 45. We'll assume that the person can live up to 90 or 95, because that's, we never know when that's when sorry, 80, 85 in this case, at least 90, I would say. I usually put 90, but in this case I've reduced it a little bit and took it as 85. That's, I mean, people assume that they are not going to live that long, but they can be made to live that long because of medical advances, and they stick in tubes into all of us. Our family members won't allow us to pass in peace, and so you have to have money for all that. So inflation at least 5 to 6%. 8% is better if you plan, but 5% is what I would take for this person, just to show as an illustration. So if you do that, you need a corpus of about 1.7 crores with 70% in fixed income and 30% in equity, and that will be split into 4 baskets. Income, there's an income basket, low risk basket, medium risk basket, high risk basket. I've talked about this several times. That's how the robot advisory template rolls. Before you do that, about 5% will be taken away and kept for emergencies, to handle for a contingency measure. Now the inflation is increased to 6%, the corpus will increase to 1.95 crores. If it is 7% inflation, the corpus will become 2.33 crores. 8% inflation, it will become 2.83 crores. So when the inflation increases, then the equity allocation should also increase to handle the return. So the recommended equity allocation will also increase from 30 to about 40% as the inflation goes from 5 to 8%. So it's very clear that you cannot have 1 crore, 1 crore to draw 50,000 a month in the first year of retirement. You can never keep pace with inflation. And we should stop thinking about having a pension plan. This idea of getting regular monthly pension, that should not be the primary income source for us. I have talked about building the ideal retirement portfolio, and yes, a pension is a very important component of retirement. It is one of the components of retirement, but there should be other components. You should be getting dividend income, you should be getting other forms of passive income, you should have some kind of active income just to keep you engaged. You should have good amount of fixed income and equity assets which you can play around in buckets and different buckets and so on. So that is the kind of diversified retirement basket that you should be thinking of buying. What I would call as the ideal retirement portfolio is, if let us say my expenses at the time of retirement, I'm just about to retire and my expenses are about 50,000 rupees a month and increasing at the rate of about 6% inflation, then I should have a retirement corpus which gives me a pension of 50,000 rupees a month, that is constant pension for the rest of my life. But I will have the remaining amount of the corpus I will be able to invest in different buckets, and I will be able to draw income from it to handle inflation in the remainder of the retirement. So that's called income flooring. So you basically create an income floor that's equal to the annual expenses in the first year of retirement, and then the remaining expenses you handle from your retirement corpus with the bucket strategy. You have to invest some in risky assets, some in safe assets. You have to rebalance among the baskets, among the buckets to as per market conditions and so on. So it's an active process, and that would, in my opinion, be the ideal retirement portfolio. But that will require a lot more corpus. It will require probably a little more corpus than this. I would say 3 crores is not a bad idea to handle inflation when the initial monthly expenses are 50,000. Definitely not 1 crore.